guys, and y'all are in for a treat today because today is not going to be just an outside video. Today I'm making something I've made before once, but today I'm going to be making pickled quail eggs for Matt. It's probably one of his favorite snacks, and I got about 4 dozen eggs again, so I'll take you along for the journey. I actually found this feeder. We've owned it for a while. I had it in storage and I was digging for something and I found it. So I put it in with these guys, and it holds about 3 pounds of feed, I believe, and it takes them about 2 days to empty it. So that's actually not bad, being on pasture and everything also. They actually don't get down in the top of it like I figured they would. I think the mama eats out of the top of it. Well, she just proved me wrong. And that's the chicken that my son wants to keep, that little black one that gets on top. So that's great. I think I'm gonna make a slight revision to it though. I'm gonna put a cup hook in that 2x4 that's across it there, and hang it from there, probably from a piece of wire so it's lower, just to get it up off the ground, because plastic tends to draw moisture. So, the last thing before I take y'all inside is, look who joined the adult flock this weekend. They still don't get along great, probably because of the big age difference, but they're doing good, and my rooster's doing a lot better. I'll zoom in on his foot. And it's actually not that swollen. His foot is actually flex wrapped to a cut butter bowl lid that keeps his toe immobilized, because he actually did break his toe. While I was doing the surgery on his foot, and I had to open it up and squeeze all that stuff out of there, you could see a split tendon. And that was before I ever even had to pick stuff out. He has a split tendon in his middle toe. So he's probably always going to walk funny then. But a live rooster is better than a dead rooster. So if he's going to walk funny, I'll just deal with that. Hey guys, we're in the house, and I'm going to show you kind of how I make quail eggs. I follow a couple different recipes, but I make it to where it works for me, and they're safe that way. Now, I don't can them. There is no safe way in a residential setting to safely can quail eggs, pressure can, or anything. So I instead do a refrigerator method. They still keep for like 4 months in the fridge, so it's not a big deal. They're going to go through all of them before 4 months are even close. But I'll show you how I do it. Alright guys, so I have 4 dozen and 1 quail egg, and I'm going to first off give them a little warm water rinse, because I do not wash my eggs before I store them. I wash them as I use them, which they keep longer that way. I can keep them safely for probably about 3 weeks on the counter, or well over 2 months in the fridge. They don't normally last that long at my house. So. And I like to wash them and throw them in a colander, because then if I missed anything, it goes into the colander. I also don't like to you'll do is you'll put it on about medium high, and then start putting your, I like to use a back burner. It's small, and then it's out of the way. I do have children at home, so let me just start adding our eggs. And you just want enough water to fully submerge them. I always put probably an inch or so over. Kind of slick, so they're hard to grab a hold of right now. So I'll add some more water to them, and we'll go from there. See, there they are. I'm going to add some more water just so it covers them good. There's a few floaters, but they're not like hard floaters, so that's okay. But usually I have them about an inch over, regardless of what I'm boiling, whether it be quail eggs or chicken eggs. So we'll let those come to a boil, and we'll be right back. Alright, well, we've got a good boil going. Set my 5-minute timer, and then I'm going to pull the eggs out, and we'll put them in a bowl of ice water and get them totally cooled down before I do the vinegar bath, which dissolves the hard part off of the shell. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Alright, so we've been a little over 5 minutes at a roaring bowl. Now I'm going to take a slotted spoon. I'm going to pick up the eggs, put them immediately into a water bath. So as you see, I've got them all in an ice bath. I've got another cup of ice I'm going to put in here so they cool all the way off. And they'll stay in that ice bath until they're totally cool, and then I'll do a vinegar bath. Alright, so now I'm going to pull my eggs out of the cold water bath. Usually if the water is, the ice is all melted, your eggs are cool. So I always do it on a towel. And I'll dump the water out. Tell you what. Ta-da! Just kidding. But yeah, now it's water and eggs. And ta-da! Okay, let me move this over. And there we go. Now, just plain white distilled vinegar, food grade. And when you spread your eggs out where they're all even, and we'll take our vinegar and pour enough in to just cover the eggs. And you can do a little rearranging. Good enough. There usually is a few casualties when you're boiling these eggs, and some may get a little cracked or something, but they'll be fine as long as the inner membrane is not busted. Usually it's not how I do it. I don't know if you can see it yet or not, but there is some bubbles starting to form, and all it's doing is it's dissolving the outside shell. It'll leave the inner membrane intact, but the outer shell will dissolve off. And leave you this kind of neat looking little leathery thing on top of your egg. And periodically I'll pull one out and feel of it. It usually takes about 2 or 3 hours to dissolve the shell off. I mean, and I've never done a chicken egg, so I don't know on it, but as you can see, there's already bubbles there. Alright guys, so it's been roughly 2 hours. I'm going to pull one out. You see all of the color is off of it, but what I want to feel is it's still slightly crunchy. You'll push on the air pocket part and see if it's crunchy, or if it's soft then they're ready to peel. And it's not soft per se, so it's not ready yet. Alright, so these guys are done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the water on. Let me turn cold water on. It doesn't have to be warm. Just enough that you can rinse them off because they are very slick. Let me turn this up for just a little bit. Just kind of rinse it. And you see it's kind of got a little bit of a dimple right there. Pinch it. And the best way I can describe how it feels is like a reptile egg. And make sure you peel it off. Don't just get half of it off and then expect it to just slide off the end, because it will take part of the egg with it. Just a second. You're okay. You're fine. I have a little helper today, and he's not happy with me. Okay. Pinch in the air pocket. When they sit for very long, especially if they sit on their side, the air pocket is not always on the end, on the big end of the egg. Sometimes it's on the other end of the egg. Which this one is, because you see I took a little pinch of meat out of it. This one sat for about a week. And the air pocket was on the other end, so it's shaped funny. I'm going to get to peeling all these, and we'll fast forward through this. So I'll talk to you again in a minute. This one's a good example of an egg that had a crack in it, because you can see, but it did not crack through the skin layer. Set it where you're not going to lose it. What? Oh, don't move my camera! Can you not see I'm doing something? Use your brain. Go play with your brother. Are you done feeding?
Yeah.
You play with your brother while I'm doing this.
This is the same kind of bowl. Look.
We'll put that down. It's not going to fit, obviously.
This needs to be a little bit longer. I need a straw.
Go play with your brother. just not quite soft enough, and I'll work on those last. Alright, so you see me peel over a dozen. So I'm going to cut this off. Alright, and that's the membranes. They're, like I said, let me grab this one right here. It's like a snake egg, I guess. I have seen snake eggs before, and that's the closest thing to them that I can think of. And that's just the hard membrane that the shell actually sits on. Alright, so now we're to the pickling stage. I had to take a short break to cook dinner, but what we're going to do is a cup of white vinegar. Oh, I turned on the wrong burner, of course. That would be me. And then I've got some Himalayan pink salt. You can use whatever salt you want to. Some minced onion. And almost immediately crafted a safer drug without the known side effects. The problem is, they did not release the new and safer. I'm going to add something this time that I didn't use before. Find it. A little bit of Zatarain's cayenne pepper. Matt likes spicy eggs. So. And crushed red pepper. If you've suffered the side effects of Viria, Truvada, Strivil, or a triple, call now for your free no obligation. In case you're wondering, no, I don't measure anything. We will make a difference. Alright, and the last step is garlic. I like to use a good heaping helping of it. You can add more, you can add less, you can put more pepper if you want. It's just whatever you like. I'm probably going to go ahead and add another cup of vinegar to this because I'm pretty sure it's going to need it. Alright. But like, here's this amazing smelling thing here, and I'm gonna pick out 4 peppers. I got a red cayenne, a green cayenne, a purple pepper that is super spicy, and this fat jalapeno here. I'm gonna prep those, put them in my brine. I wish you could just smell this bag. This bag smells amazing. This is my pride and joy. I am so thankful for the fact that I was able to grow all of these wonderful peppers, and this isn't even all of them. I gave a good portion of them away. And it looks like one pea pod in there. And these little dudes are spicy. I'll just cut the ends off. Toss them in. This one, it's long. I'm going to cut it in half. They smell amazing though. I wish you could smell them. Go ahead and add another cup. White vinegar. Now you want to bring it to a boil. Whisk it occasionally, just keep all the ingredients mixed up good. And then we'll put it in our jars on top of the eggs. Sorry guys, I forgot to record me putting it in there, but I pretty much just bring it all to a boil and then use a soup ladle to put it in the jar. And each jar has half of a pepper in it. All 4 different combinations of the 4 peppers. Use a paper towel to wipe off the rim on each jar. And then screw it on tightly. And like I said at the beginning of the video, there's no way to safely home can pickled eggs. There's always a chance of there being salmonella, so if you still have an egg that is not down in the pickling brine, I always just top it off with a little bit of vinegar. And there you have it. Pretty jar. This is a spicy jar. I just told Matt that my last pickled eggs were pretty jars and these are my dirty jars. So there you have it. In about a week, we'll open it up and Matt will tell you how it tastes.